Sarah on as next.
Perfect. Yeah, I will focus on our R&I. I'll give you the R&I perspective on the mobility transition with a special focus, of course, on freight mobility. So we can move on to the first slide. You can see here different strategies and objectives. Austria wants to achieve climate neutrality by 2040, we've heard. And this is 10 years ahead of the European Union. And therefore, we have defined a lot of strategies and objectives. And one is the Mobility Master Plan, which you already heard a lot about. And there's also the Austrian hydrogen strategy, which was published recently. And we are waiting for the publication of the Austrian circular economy strategy. Then I think we can move on because the objectives were already presented by my colleagues. So where comes the part of innovation, or when comes the part of innovations? So we heard that we need the energy transition in transport because we have this limited energy available in 2040, namely only 1/3 of the energy consumed in transport at the moment. So we need also mobility transition, and we need to apply the principles of circular economy in the mobility sector. So you already saw the pyramid of improving, shifting, and avoiding. So let's focus on the right side, which is the part of innovation. Innovation can contribute in terms of avoiding to new spatial structures that reduce transport demand, could also lead to sufficient mobility and consumption styles. And there needs also be the concept of virtual mobility be further explored. Then in terms of shifting, we need attractive transport alternatives and integrated transport services. We need to increase capacity and managing demand accordingly. And in terms of improving, we need the technologies for vehicles, but also components, above all the battery. And of course, we need to optimize all these components. On the next slide, we see how we in our Directorate General for Innovation and Technology, we bundle our measures in order to contribute to achieve a climate neutral mobility system by 2040. So we have 4 R&I focus area. Strictly there are 3 and there's 1 mission, but we can say it's a 4 R&I focus area. There's the energy transition, the circular economy, and the mobility transition. And as a kind of a mission, you have climate neutral cities. And we apply here R&I measures. I will go in detail on them on the slides which will come next. And there we will help our stakeholders, our target group, to become more innovative and to produce innovative solutions that contribute to a climate neutral mobility system in 2040. And the basis for the R&I focus area mobility transition is the Austrian R&I mobility strategy, which was developed 2 years ago and which has the vision innovations in and from Austria for climate neutral mobility system in Europe. So the next slide shows you a bridge with 2 pillars. On the left side, you have the Mobility Master Plan with the path to climate neutrality and the principles of avoiding, shifting, and improving. And on the right side, you have the National R&I Strategy, the general one, which stressed the importance of R&I to reach climate neutrality. And in between the bridge to our vision, innovations in and from Austria for a climate neutral urban mobility system. So we try to link those 2 strategies, and we also concretized it for the next 5 years in the Austrian R&I mobility agenda, which has also, as well as the R&I strategy, a very mission-oriented and transformation-oriented R&I policy approach. But I think we can move on to the next one. Here you find the 4 thematic mission areas of the Austrian R&I mobility strategy and the R&I focus area mobility transition. You have here the cities promoting climate neutral urban mobilities, the regions mobilizing and sustainable connecting rural areas. So these two are delivering the demand for transport, and includes of course the demand for logistics and for companies being supplied in regions, in cities. And then you have the two technology based mission areas, digitalization and technology, where it's about efficient and climate-friendly operation of infrastructure, mobility, and logistics services on the one hand, and on the right side, developing environmentally friendly transport technologies. When we move on, you can see here now the R&I measures. I would like to start with the first R&I measures. We have 4 in total. The first one is R&I funding. For national R&I funding and transnational R&I funding, we have in total this year and next year um, uh, about approximately 100 million euros available, which is quite a lot. And we are very happy of that, that there is so much support for these measures from political side. And of course, we look into Horizon Europe on the European R&I funding in the European R&I funding program, which is very important for Austria. Then there are the exploration spaces. What are exploration spaces? We have urban mobility labs, and we now also try to build up rural mobility labs. They should foster an innovation ecosystem in urban areas and on regional areas. Then we have test environments for automated driving in Austria too, and one also focuses on logistics and test facilities. And we are also working and contributing from R&I side to regulatory sandboxes in the mobility sector. And we hope that we will come true one day. It will be a long way there. On the third, we have alliances and implementation partnerships with platforms, networks, and operators. We work with the other director generals but also other ministries, with our funding and implementation agencies, and we strategically support R&I projects, large one, and we also base finance non-university research institutions in Austria. And the last one, I think, is the European and international cooperation. Rainer, maybe you can click last time here in this slide. Perfect. We have here the European Technology and Innovations Platform. This is the reason why we cooperate with Alice, and we have Horizon Europe with the partnerships with Cluster 5, and with the mission, of course, on climate neutral cities and communities. We focus on transnational cooperations, the reason why we engaged in EMEurope, and we also have international cooperations with the International Energy Agency, for an example. Yes, and then I think we come to the slide on the budget. This year we have about 50 million euros available for R&I funding in those 4 R&I focus areas, mission areas, and this is the distribution this year. It will look different next year, and I think there's one last slide coming. Yes, only the contact details. So thank you for giving you these insights. And if there are some questions, don't hesitate to write them down into the chat. And I hand over back, I don't know, to Rainer, or it's already Fernando.